Welcome back to 5 Good Minutes with William Jackson. Today's lesson is going to be on what not to do. Right now we have the HSD F86 120mm EDF jet. We've got some lightweight spackle that we smeared on it and let it sit overnight to dry, and it's pretty good, even though it's only about 50 degrees in here. So we'll knock this down, the rough stuff that you see here, knock it down. That way we'll see if we missed any spots, and then we'll may do a little touch up on those spots. But what we're trying to do is get rid of the factory panel lines. They're too thick, so we're going to take those out, and we're going to put in our own panel lines, which will be about 1/64 wide. And what not to do is don't do this. Don't get into this. That's what not to do. If you got an EDF, just shake a can of paint and shoot it and go out and fly it and have all the fun you want, make tons of videos and just be happy. This is only for the people. What I'm doing to this jet is if you're going to try and win a contest. Yes, if you're out to try and win a contest, you might want to watch the videos I make. But if you're not interested in making a show plane or something super scale, or because if I show up, buddy, the judges are going to be pretty impressed with the finish that I'm going to put on this plane. So all I got to do after that is just fly it. In most events, she only has to fly once to win. So as long as she goes up, does a couple maneuvers, touch down, do whatever, show my features, lights, speed brakes, sliding canopy, all that kind of stuff, nav lights, drop tanks, and boom, I got a lot of points. So don't get into this. This is the stuff that people don't want to do. Don't want to be up at late at night sanding. This is 220 that I'm using to knock this down with. And if you've been around and seen any of my YouTube videos, William Jackson Custom RC Planes, you'll see me sanding on another F86 I did 2 years ago that won Top Gun. And yeah, it's pretty boring for you guys to tune in and see me doing this. But you know what? Every time somebody would come up at an event and look at my plane, it was worth every minute because everybody recognized the effort that went into it to make it scale and to make the finish look right. So that would be my one recommendation. Shake a can, spray the plane, get the decals from the people you want to get them from. I recommend Red 5 Design to get your decals from. And because that's who I get mine stuff from. And just be happy, because here is where the rubber meets the road, man. This is where the behind the scenes stuff you guys don't see. Everybody wants to see the plane flying and doing tricks and going fast and everything. Now the other thing too, the guys are talking to me, some guys are like, how much weight did that put on the plane? You know, yeah, very rarely do I weigh the planes. I weighed my last plane, and if I told you what that thing weighed, you'd be sitting on the floor. But the plane only has to fly, right? And you only need half the weight of the plane in thrust to get it off the ground. Remember that when you're doing some airplane. Half the weight of the plane in thrust will make anything fly. Go up, do your maneuvers, because I'm not ever going up with a scale looking airplane trying to set speed records. or to impress people with high speed stuff, because that's not what the judges judge you on. They judge you on realism. Fly the plane in a real-like manner, deploy all the features in a real-like manner, bring it in, line it up, and land it as close to as possible to scale, and walk over and pick up your trophy. That's the end game for me, you know. So if I want to get something fast, you know, I'll have to pick something else off the shelf here to fly fast. These planes are not designed to fly fast. Fly in a scale-like manner, deploy the features, and land. And then that's it. That was my thoughts today as I'm up early, knocking this down, so I can get a better look at how the fit of the canopy is, how am I doing on removing these panel lines, and then I'll come back and there'll be another video of me, how do you do panel lines, which is pretty easy. Pretty easy. Everything I do is pretty easy. It's just, do you want to do it? Okay. I think I want to get in here and start doing some more elbow grease. It's a little soft, square sanding pad that I saved. These old ones wear out. And then I just wrap this around. That way I can bend it around in these corners, get close in these curves. Then I'll come back and I'll get around this stuff here. With this stuff here. That lightweight spackle stuff, it knocks down. And then after you get it down, you know, come back with one coat of Minwax to seal it in. You know, that way you got something hard to paint on. Now, if you didn't care, if you were just going to kind of get rid of the panel lines and do a quick paint job, at this point I would just shoot it with primer after you sand it smooth. Shoot it with primer and your paint and be done with it. But there's a couple coats that I have to do on this, you know. I have to do the Minwax, and then I have to do the primer, the paint, masking off stuff. So we got a ways to go on this, but it is October 18th. And we are not going to do that thing that we did last time, that 30-day challenge where I did a jet in 30 days. Wow, we'll never do that again. Unless somebody's paying me a whole lot of money. Because I was up all night for 30 days to take a plane like this and make it like my Top Gun F-86. That will never happen again. I'll take my time. I want to enjoy the ride to finishing this. Enjoy the ride. Okay, that's the end of my 5 good minutes. Thanks for stopping by. Subscribe and have a wonderful day.